Payman, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. After Payman's talk, he will share some information about the future way that you can learn more about podcasting and deeper level. So anyway, how about a round of applause to get us started?
Is this working? Okay. Okay, that's good. As long as you can hear me, that's all I need. All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming here. Thank you. My name is Payman Lorenzo. I'm going to be doing a talk for you guys tonight, showing you how to get leads on demand for your own podcast, even if you have no audience, without spamming and no ad spend. Share my story, how I've been able to monetize my little YouTube channel to get over 100 clients, and why you cannot afford not to have a podcast if you have a business today. So let's get going. So again, went over that. 100 clients with a YouTube channel, less than 200 subscribers. And I will tell you how and why. So with me, that's me. Canadian expat, been an expat most of my life. Lived in 14 countries and 4 continents, 6 languages and counting. And I'm a connector, collector, and cheerleader. I'm the founder and host of the podcast, YouTube channel, and movement Leaders with a Heart, as well as the publishing house and books of the same title. And over 320 episodes in the last 3 years, 3.5 years now, and 4 #1 international best-selling books. You see 3 here, and I'm going to show you after, other 2 after if you guys want. Have them here. And okay. Not working. Too fast. So I'm going to be sharing with you the benefits of podcasting first. Why is podcasting so powerful for business, and then how podcasting can benefit both you personally as well as your business. You can see tonight. Tonight, depending on how much time I get, I was told I get 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, Aaron is going to cut my microphone. So that's why I prepared very short slides. But I can go. I've done talks for over 2 hours in other places. So let's see how far I can get tonight. And feel free at any time, any questions, raise your hand, don't be shy, we're friends here. And at the end, also have a Q&A for us. Okay, first of all, why is podcasting so powerful? Before I even start, raise your hand if you already have a podcast. Only one? Now raise your hand if you have a podcast and you've been able to monetize it. Podcast, a YouTube channel. Nobody? Then you're in a perfect place right now. All right, why is podcasting so powerful for business? First of all, because having your own podcast is great because it allows you, it's more than just a podcast, it's a platform where you can share your story, display your expertise, so you can connect heart to heart with exact ideal audience, prospects, clients, and so on and so forth. And also because when you will have an unmatched, undivided connection with the exact ideal audience through your podcast and YouTube channel. I'm going to go over that in a moment. And the point of all of that, when you do have your platform where you can share your story, display your expertise, and connect heart to heart, you will be able to build something that is fundamental in business, especially if you're selling anything that's high ticket. And high ticket is anything over $1,000, and that is trust, rapport, and confidence. And that's what podcasting and having your own platform will allow you to do. So benefits of podcasting personally for you. I can talk on that alone. Actually, that's going to be the topic of my next book, but I'm going to summarize it as much as I can. Personally, for me, believe it or not, I used to be painfully shy. Very shy a few years ago. The people that knew me from before, when they see me, they say, "What happened to you? Did you make a deal with the devil or something? Because you're all over YouTube and Facebook." I say, "No, I just found my purpose, my voice, and my passion, my destiny." So for me, it allowed me to overcome my shyness and fear of public speaking. That's number one. Number two, as I said, allowed me to find my voice, my purpose, my destiny, my passion. And once you find that, you become the person you're meant to be. And then, as a result of that, that's allowed me to be able to connect at a much deeper level with people. Not just people on a podcast, but also people around me in my interaction day to day with people that I know. Now, for business-wise, it's a phenomenal lead generation machine. Because again, if you're selling anything that's high ticket, over $500, $1,000, it's all about trust, rapport, and podcasting, that's what's gonna allow you to do that. And it's a fantastic, phenomenal launching pad for much bigger opportunities. Through podcasting, I've been able to get my own business, my own academy, podcasting academy, allowed me to become not only an author, but a 4-time #1 international best-selling author. And now launching my own publishing house, and so on and so forth. And then only God knows what's next, maybe TV, radio, so who knows. It's a phenomenal launching pad for bigger joint ventures, partnerships, and so on and so forth. So podcasting for that is incredible for your business. And last but definitely not least, in today's hyper-competitive marketplace where the name of the game is, where it's very competitive, when the name of the game is about differentiation, it's going to allow you to set yourself apart, to elevate you as an expert, authority, and leader in your niche, in your industry, and so on and so forth. And that's invaluable in business for you to stand out and to really win in this game, especially in today's marketplace. Next. Any questions so far? Don't be shy. I want to keep it as interactive as possible, and not just me talking for 2 hours. Not gonna be 2 hours.
How do you find your voice and purpose in your voice?
That's a great question. It's that for me, when I launched my podcast was all about helping people, inspiring people, showcasing people, and through that, I've connected to incredible people, and those allowed me to find has been part of my own awakening, and as a result of that, allowed me to find my purpose. My background is in e-commerce. I used to live in China, build businesses, Amazon FBA and all that. It was fun, money was good, but the heart wasn't in it. But then when I started talking with people, showcasing this story, connecting with them, that's something I really loved. Because I love helping, showcasing people. Actually, my motto in business is helping good people with beautiful hearts and powerful messages to win. When I meet someone for business, the first thing I ask them is, how can I make you shine brighter than currently shining? And through that, I've been able to achieve that. To find my purpose, my voice. My voice, my purpose is all about helping other people win. Good people with beautiful hearts and powerful messages to win. And that's something that I'm very passionate about. Through my podcast, to my books, to everything I do, to my talks, and so on. So now, this is a big question. What is business at the core? Business is not a numbers game. Sure, numbers matter, but ultimately business, especially if you're selling anything high ticket, it's a relationship nurturing process. We do business with people we connect, relate, and trust. All of us, let's say you're looking for a doctor, an accountant, or a mechanic, or a baker. Sure, they all qualify, they all have all the degrees, but the one me and you will do business with, and the one we connect the most as a human being, as a person. If you don't connect as a human being, you're not gonna do business with them. You're not gonna talk with them, let alone do business with them. So that's why podcasting in that way, this is what business is all about. It's all about relationship, nurturing relationship. It's a process. So, and podcasting is the best way, from my experience, with my people I know, my students around the world. Podcasting is the best way to build that trust, those relationships, that foundation, that confidence. Because again, it's all about connecting heart to heart, speaking from the heart, not speaking from a script, not speaking from here, but speaking from the heart. And that's what, when you do that, that's when the magic happens. That's when people open up to you. That's when people are open to do business with you. Yes, sir.
What's the difference between scripting and then being authentic in the scripting, but then also just speaking raw?
So what I do, my calls, my podcast, are not an interrogation; they're a conversation. Sure, I have a structure. For example, what's your story? What's your story? What's your background? What's your business? But then it's very organic. For example, I ask you a question and take the conversation wherever the conversation goes. Just like all conversation we have all day long with people around us. It's not scripted. I ask you a question, how's your day? How's business? You answer and then take it from there. So speaking from the heart, being authentic, being vulnerable, being genuine, that's how I keep it.
Makes sense.
Cool. All right, let's get going. All right, why podcasting is the best way to connect with your exact ideal audience, prospect, and clients. Basically, for what I just said, is because there are 3 reasons why someone listens to your podcast or watches your videos on YouTube. 1, sure, they're interested in your topic. But number 2 is that they can relate with you, they can connect with you, they can identify themselves with you, with your messaging, they can see themselves in you. And last but definitely not least, They like you. They like your personality, your sense of humor, your story, your background, whatever. And that's what people want. They want people to connect with, to relate with, to identify with. So, and this is why podcasting is incredibly good to connect really deeply, heart to heart with exactly the audience, prospects, and eventually clients. Now, we all know, especially if you've done business online, even if you haven't done business online, the most valuable currency in the world of business online is attention. Especially, there was a study that said the average adult's attention span nowadays is less than a goldfish. And a goldfish is what 4 seconds? Seriously, we're all bombarded with all the notification, all the different apps, all the different websites. So how do you catch and maintain that attention? And this is why your messaging is very important. That's beyond the scope of today's talk. I can do an entire talk just on that, your messaging, because that's very key. But yeah, Sam.
So when you say that attention is the most valuable currency, there could be also a difference in just that people aren't interested in what you have to say.
Absolutely.
Instead of it actually being an attention span of a goldfish, they just might not actually be interested in what you have to say. I don't think this is working. But so the difference, how do you see the difference being in the attention that you're actually trying to attract, but also what people want to hear?
Great question. For me, I don't want everybody to relate with a message. The people that do, they will relate with it. They will listen to it. My podcast is not geared to everybody. My podcast is geared to the people that will identify with me, relate with me, resonate with me, that can see themselves in me. That's all I need. Even if I get 1% of 1% of 1% of the population of this planet, I have more than enough listeners, audience, and eventually clients to keep me busy and happy for the next 10 lifetimes. So that's how you're gonna. Yes?
Can you give us a bit more detailed introduction about your podcast?
Sorry, I can't hear you. Wait, let me come closer.
Can you give us a bit more detailed introduction about your podcast?
Okay, my podcast is called Leaders with a Heart. Go on YouTube, search Leaders with a Heart. My podcast is a platform where I've been showcasing purpose-driven, heart-centered, successful entrepreneurs. I interview those people so we can inspire other entrepreneurs to do it. That's the premise of my podcast. YouTube Leaders with a Heart.
And Apple?
Apple, yes. So far I have over 321, 22 episodes on YouTube. On Apple, I only have like 63 episodes. But I'm catching up. Found it?
Found it.
Beautiful.
You got a new follower.
Awesome. Subscribe to on YouTube, everybody, guys. I'm joking. Okay, cool. So yeah, so attention is, especially in the world of online business, it's a single most valuable currency in the world, especially with people being distracted everywhere around them. Everybody's trying to get attention. All the apps, all the different people, the news and all that. So this is how you stand out. And also when someone, just as I mentioned earlier, answering Sam's question, I don't need everybody to listen to me, but the people that resonate with me, they will listen. And when that person's listening to me, you know, when someone listens to your podcast, let me rephrase that. When someone listens to a radio or TV or whatever, it's loud, there's lots of distractions around them. But when someone listens to your podcast and their earbuds, you get an incredible, undivided attention from them that no other medium, not even $1 billion at the Super Bowl, for example, can get you that kind of attention. Because again, when someone listens to your podcast, because they like you. They can relate with you, they can identify with you, they can resonate with you, and so on and so forth. So that's why podcasting, when your messaging is clear, can really get you to the right people and not only catch your attention, but keep it. And podcasts are very long, can be anywhere between 5 to 20, 30 minutes. Mine are about an hour. So yeah. And also, because of all of what I've just been saying, it allows you to connect at a very deep level with your audience, with people who are listening to you. Because again, they're interested in what you have to say, in your topic, they like you, they can identify with you, relate with you, resonate with you, and so on and so forth. And as a result of that, once you get that connection, that trust, that rapport, if you're selling anything high ticket, then after they've been listening to you for a few weeks, they will feel like they know you. There's no need for you to, when they connect with you, they will be reaching out to you. Or when you reach out to them, you won't have a need to sell, to pitch, to convince, as I like to say in a funny and cheesy way, to seduce or kidnap someone to do business with them. It's a natural, automatic, organic progression. Hey, what do? I do X for Y. Oh, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Can you help me? Sure, let's set up a time to talk. This is how I've been doing business. By building first, this is how I've been able to monetize my podcast, by building this trust, this rapport, this confidence with my clients. And then they ask me, what do? I tell them, and then we get on a conversation, and we progress from prospect, interviewee, to client. Okay. All right, here's a powerful quote. You guys know this guy?
Yeah, Russell Branson.
Who's Russell Brunson? Rapper?
He's owner of ClickFunnels.
And what's ClickFunnels?
A place where people direct traffic
It's $1 billion company.
to sell.
Yes. I'm a big fan of ClickFunnels. Yes. So look at this quote. It says, music and radio listeners on average make $60,000. Podcast listeners under $20,000. Why is that? Can you guess? Let's hear some answers.
Education is better than entertainment.
That's a great one, yes. Any other one?
We have multiple channels that you can broadcast. Radio is just radio.
Okay, that's a good one. Anyone else? One last one? It's because people who listen to podcasts, they understand the value of investing in themselves, self-development. And also because of that, they're much more likely to be making more money because they understand that they need to invest in themselves to get coaching, to learn, to grow. When someone listens to music, yes, they may, but on average, they may not. They just want to go to their work, listen, chill, and just get by. But someone that listens to a podcast, they want to learn. They're hungry. They want to grow. That's why. And as a result of that, you will be attracting a much higher caliber of clients to your podcast because again, these people understand the value in investing in themselves, of hiring a coach, and so on and so forth. Does that make sense? All right, I just mentioned, I alluded to that. Your podcast listeners will be your best clients because again, they have this established trust, rapport, and foundation with you that non-listeners do not have. And as a result of that, I didn't mention here, it's going to drastically reduce the sales cycle. If you're selling anything high ticket over $1,000, it's going to be much easier for you to sell it to someone that's been listening to your podcast than someone that hasn't been listening because they already know you. They all have this trust, this rapport. So that's why that's another way the podcast will drastically help your business to make sales faster. Because again, when you're selling high ticket, it's all about trust. So who is podcasting for? Podcasting is for basically anyone who is an expert, professional, coach, authors, agency, anyone as long as you're dealing with human beings and that you have anything of value, transformational, that is over $1,000. Even e-commerce. I used to be in e-commerce, but for e-commerce, it's a different game. It's all about brand awareness, but for coaches, authors, agency owners, or professionals, it's a perfect way to showcase them, display their expertise, and stand out. So if you fall into any of those, if you have any skill, any value that you're offering, transformational value, then you cannot afford not to have a podcast. So that's it for now, because I was told it would be a 20-minute talk, because this guy told me he's gonna cut my microphone after 20 minutes. Otherwise, I can go much deeper into that. So yeah, any complaint, take it to him because.
Well, we still have more time for Q&A, and also Payman and Lorenzo is going to be featured at section 30 on Sunday for a longer session on this topic. And you can also ask him about an opportunity to take a 5-day.
Yes,
workshop.
I will be hosting a free 5-day challenge. It's going to be starting on Monday, April 1st, 8 p.m. Eastern, but that's going to translate for us here in this part of the world, Tuesday morning, April 2nd at 7 o'clock in the morning. So it's going to be early, but is worth it. It's gonna be 5 days of action-packed. I'm not gonna be holding anything back. I'm gonna show you all the different reasons why, first of all, you need to have your own podcast and how you can leverage podcasting to get leads on demand, even if you have absolutely no audience, because I've been able to get 100 high-ticket clients. These are people paying me anywhere between $500 to $2,000 each with a YouTube channel of less than 200 subscribers. Because again, business, it's not a numbers game. It's a relationship nurturing process. And that's how I've been able to monetize my tiny little YouTube channel. Now, if you go on YouTube, my audience is, I have 1,349, maybe 1,350 because Sam subscribed to it. So again, that's absolutely nothing in terms of YouTube. Because the traditional way to monetize a podcast, YouTube channel, for those of you that know, is to build a massive audience and make money through sponsorships, downloads, and viewerships. That's good, but that applies only for people who have massive audiences, existing audiences, celebrities, or world-class experts. When I started, none of that. If I had to wait for me to build that audience, it would have taken me 5 to 10 years. And when I started my podcast, I was in a very bad situation financially. I didn't have the time to wait 10 years to make money that way. So I had to look other ways to monetize my podcast, and I was lucky in the right place to find a way to monetize it with my tiny little channel. So I'm gonna go explain all of that in my 5-day challenge, starting from Tuesday, April 2nd. This is the website to register, podcastleadschallenge.com. It's free, and it's for all of you guys. Yes, Sam? Man, you asked me too many questions, man. I'm joking.
That's my job.
I know. Bring it on, brother.
So,
I'll do the same for you on Sunday morning.
for people who don't have a podcast or are like their niche is something different than yours, what is like the criteria for like different niches for the length of the podcast time?
Great question.
You can say like different niches.
Honestly, the length of your podcast will depend on a few factors. First of all, what is your purpose, your goal, your objective you're trying to reach to your podcast and to your YouTube channel? Number one. Number two, what is the number one pain point that you're solving and addressing to your podcast and then to your offering to your business? And number three, who is the exact ideal prospect and client that you're trying to help with that number one pain point? Once you have decided all of that, then the length of the podcast is going to be self-evident. That's not an arbitrary number. It's not that you can say, oh, I'm going to make my podcast 20 minutes. No. Because if your audience wants to get content for an hour and you offer them 20 minutes, then you're going to be coming short. So everything, the length of the podcast is a key strategic decision. But I go in depth inside my academy. Yes, I have an academy, and I'm going to be sharing more of that inside my 5-day challenge. But the gist of it is, it's going to depend on what is your objective, what is the pain point you're solving, and for who. Based on that, then you can, it's going to be almost like a logical, mathematical conclusion. Yeah.
So, for example, if you're trying to sell to soccer moms or football moms,
Yep.
you're driving a minivan, right?
Yep.
You would have to do a 15-minute podcast that's length that it takes to get to the field inside the car where they can listen to it.
Great question, but
They can't listen to it.
but what is it what is the pain point that you're addressing for these soccer moms?
Right.
If it's something short, yes, but if it's something more longer, then they will be more than happy to listen to a longer podcast or all that. So again, it depends on what is your goal, what is the pain point you're addressing, and for who.
So the more resonating the pain point that is with them, the more willing their attention is.
Absolutely. As I mentioned to you earlier when we were talking, there are podcasts that are 3 minutes that are wildly successful. Like for those of you who know, Frank Kern, one of the first people that did $1 million launch back in 2005, he has a podcast called the Frank Kern Podcast. It's 3 minutes each day. And then you have podcasts like Joe Rogan, 4 hours. Mine is about an hour. So find what is your purpose, what is the goal, objective you're trying to reach your podcast, what is the pain point that you're solving it for who, and based on that you will know what is the length of your podcast. It's all about having clarity, knowing, understanding your audience. Once you do that, then it will be self-evident as to how long your podcast or YouTube channel should be. Yes, the lady.
So, was that your audience is your best client? So when they listen to you, like they trust you.
Absolutely.
So obviously, you can use the podcast as a
then I have, for me, that's how we're able to monetize my market. There's many other ways to monetize it. You can monetize it through once you get an audience, sponsorships, joint ventures, and so on and so forth. But for me, I haven't touched that yet because my channel is still very small. I only have 1,350 subscribers, which I was talking to someone else earlier. They select us like $14 for 1,000 people that watch your videos. If I were to make money through that, I would have a million subscribers, followers, at least 250,000 people watching my videos for me to make any amount of money. That's why I said earlier that making money the traditional way through a podcast or YouTube channel, that's something that only celebrities, world-class experts, or people with massive existing audience can do. To build that audience takes 5 to 10 years. Did I answer your question?
So for the focus group, you are not focusing on to build like a large audience, but you are more point out each so that they can provide the best value to the audience.
So find your 1,000 true fans and then build it around that. Serve these people. And these people will become your evangelical family, will be your marketing, whatever you offer them, will be lining up, waiting outside at 3 o'clock in the morning for you to reach out to offer. Welcome.
Question.
Again, not you. Go on.
What's your take on putting ads inside of your podcast?
Great question. Again, I've been approached.
Like where you actually monetize, you actually get money from selling that ad.
Yes. There's a fine line between, I know people who do that, but then they start losing control of the podcast because they have to abide by certain what the advertisers want. So it depends how much independence you want. For me, I've been approached by people who want to advertise to my audience because my audience is coaches and authors who make me good money. They always come to me and say, listen, I don't want to do it because I want to get integrity on my podcast. I want to see it as the guy who's trying to make a profit. I want to keep it as a high value for my audience.
Got it.
Any more questions? Once, twice? Okay. Say it now.
We have a question over here.
Yes.
For those folks who are just starting out, do you have any practical advice on how do you get invite speakers? Where do you find them? How do you reach out to them? How do you schedule?
Great question. And for that, to answer all of that, I invite you to attend my Friday challenge on the week of next, not this week after, because that's exactly what I cover.
Are you gonna cover about equipment?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Looking forward to that.
And I go much more deeper inside my academy, so my academy is not
Yeah,
finished.
okay. Okay, well, thank you everyone. Now let's give Lorenzo, Payman Lorenzo a round of applause.
Any more questions, brothers, over there?
Upcoming Friday socials topics include more on AI. Arnold here is offered to give some expert advice on more on AI image generation. So you can have beautiful imagery to go with the marketing of your podcast.
Yes.
And so that's coming up. And also, for those of you who have been in the habit of coming to Friday socials, just want to say thank you very much. Appreciate your support. It's every Friday. Location changes, so please check Eventbrite or Meetup or Facebook for the location. Probably going to be using this location quite a bit moving forward, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, it's nice here. Up below, it's going to start getting hot, and it'll be nice and air conditioned in here. So yeah, order something from the bar and hang out here as long as you want. This lobby is open 24 hours.
And if I may want to say one thing, I want to say thank you to Aaron for inviting me, for Scott, for Tim on Sunday night. So thank you guys. You guys are doing offering a great service for the expat and entrepreneurs community in this town. I came here in September for the first 3 months. I had no idea there was such a scene. I was living a monk, not even going out. And one day in January, I was walking by the expat area. I saw the real Brazilian barbecue. I used to live in Brazil. I said, what's going on here? I saw a bunch of people. I recognized someone, Danilo, recognized them, and he told me there's a meetup. So what, meetup? What kind of meetup? Entrepreneurs, and there was this history. Connect me to you, to Scott, to Tim, and I'm loving the the entrepreneur scene here, both expats and locals. So don't be shy, connect to each other. And And let's all make as much money as possible to create a better world, one entrepreneur at a time. That's my message to you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You.
Thank you.
Look up power. Did you get this on